Something profound is happening to us, a quiet, creeping change that's altering how we experience ourselves. We notice it when we can't read a book without reaching for our phones, or when anxiety follows us for no clear reason. This isn't just about new gadgets, it's a transformation of our inner landscape. We're becoming different people, often without realizing it. It's not a personal failing. Powerful forces are reshaping how we think, feel, and connect. Our world is built for speed and constant stimulation, pushing us to skim and react rather than reflect. The quiet spaces for deep thought are shrinking, replaced by endless information and distraction. We fill every spare second with noise, podcasts, social media, emails, leaving little room for stillness. We've been conditioned to see unoccupied time as unproductive, but in fleeing stillness, we lose our ability to know ourselves. This essay explores what we're losing and what we're becoming, and how our attention is being fragmented. But this isn't a story of despair, it's a search for a way back. By understanding this crisis, we can reclaim the depth and connection that make us human. The choice starts with paying attention to what's happening inside us. Consciousness is more than being awake. It's the rich internal universe within us. It's our ability to reflect, imagine, and observe ourselves. This self-awareness lets us choose our responses, not just react. It's the foundation of wisdom, empathy, and growth. Historically, cultures valued practices that deepen consciousness, introspection, storytelling, solitude. These weren't luxuries, they were essential for a meaningful life. Today, the qualities that define a rich inner life, focus, reflection, imagination, are under threat. We're trained to prefer the shallow and immediate over the deep and enduring. Our environment dismantles the conditions for a healthy inner world. We're losing the tools our ancestors used to build their inner lives. Too often, we're too distracted to notice what's slipping away. For most of history, our minds were shaped by the rhythms of nature: wind, rain, birdsong. Silence was a presence, a canvas for life to unfold. In these quieter spaces, our minds could wander, process, and rest. Nature restored our focus, calmed our nerves, and fostered connection. Our consciousness evolved in this world, tuned to its slower pace. Today, we live in a storm of digital noise, notifications, headlines, endless scrolls. Our attention is a commodity, constantly captured and fragmented. This environment trains us for constant alertness, always waiting for the next interruption. Quiet moments are now seen as voids to be filled. We've become uncomfortable with stillness, trading nature's symphony for digital chaos. Our minds are paying the price. The space for our consciousness to breathe is vanishing. We must ask, what are we losing in this trade? Attention is the gateway to consciousness. What we focus on shapes our experience. Deep, sustained attention lets us think, feel, and connect meaningfully. But our world wages war on this kind of focus. We live in an ecosystem of interruption, constantly switching tasks. Each switch degrades our attention, leaving us scattered and stressed. This fragmentation prevents deep awareness. Our thoughts become shallow, our understanding superficial. We skim headlines, trade conversations for texts, and lose the thread of our own story. Our minds become like shattered mirrors, reflecting fragments, not a whole. This isn't just about productivity, it's about building a stable sense of self. Without focus, we can't consolidate experiences or form a meaningful narrative. Life becomes a blur of disconnected moments. The constant distraction erodes our very identity. We lose the foundation of a rich, meaningful consciousness. The cost is not just efficiency, it's our sense of who we are. To reclaim ourselves, we must reclaim our attention. The technologies dominating our lives aren't neutral. They're designed to capture and hold our attention. Social media uses the same addictive mechanisms as slot machines, keeping us hooked with unpredictable rewards. Platforms prioritize content that triggers strong emotions: outrage, fear, excitement, over nuance or calm. Algorithms learn what provokes us and feed us more, creating a feedback loop of reactivity. We're nudged towards snap judgments and hot takes, trained to react first and think later. This constant reactivity is the enemy of deep consciousness. Reflection requires time and space, but our digital world rewards speed over depth. The person who pauses to think is left behind. We're being trained out of contemplation, replacing self-awareness with a need to perform and react. Our consciousness is shaped by outside forces. We think and feel what algorithms want. Authentic feelings blur with engineered reactions. We believe we're expressing ourselves, but often we're just performing a script written by the attention economy. We're more connected than ever, yet many feel more alone. Online connections are often thin and performative, based on curated images and likes. We compare our messy lives to others' highlight reels, breeding anxiety and inadequacy. This constant self-monitoring is exhausting, leaving little room for genuine connection. The gap between digital illusion and reality fuels anxiety, depression, and loneliness. We're also becoming disconnected from ourselves. Fragmented attention makes it hard to hear our inner voice. We lose touch with our needs and values, feeling like strangers in our own lives. Despite more information and comfort than ever, something essential is missing. Our anxiety is a distress signal, a longing for stillness, depth, and real connection. It's our consciousness calling for a return to authenticity. Ignoring this call only deepens the emptiness. The solution begins with listening to what our minds truly need. How do we reclaim our consciousness from the attention economy? The answer isn't abandoning technology, but carving out space for stillness and depth. Start with small acts. Schedule time for silence and solitude. Walk without your phone. Sit and watch the world. Practice monotasking. Do one thing at a time. Give it your full attention. When reading, just read. When listening, just listen. It feels unnatural at first, but it rebuilds our attention. Be intentional with technology. Set boundaries. Turn off non-essential notifications. Create digital-free times. These aren't about deprivation, but about regaining control. Reintroduce practices that cultivate deep consciousness, mindfulness meditation, time in nature, deep reading, journaling. These restore the richness our environment strips away. They're not quick fixes, but powerful steps toward reclaiming our inner worlds. The journey is gradual, but every step matters. Our minds can learn to crave depth again. Returning to deeper consciousness means embracing new values, choosing depth over shallowness, reflection over reaction. A well-lived life is measured by the quality of our awareness, not by productivity or information consumed. This shift is radical in a world obsessed with busyness. Rediscover the joy of slow thinking. Allow yourself to sit with complex questions and tolerate ambiguity. Engage with long-form content and challenging ideas to strengthen your mind. Cultivate emotional sobriety. Learn to be with your feelings, without numbing or amplifying them for show. In quiet observation, we develop self-knowledge and resilience. Emotions pass through us, but they don't define us. Build a sanctuary inside, a core of stillness and awareness, unshakable amid chaos. This inner sanctuary is a source of strength, not escape. From here, we can engage with the world more thoughtfully and meaningfully. We're at a pivotal moment. Technology and culture are changing not just what we do, but who we are. The relentless pace and engineered distractions erode our capacity for deep focus and connection. We've seen how our environment shifted from nature's quiet to digital chaos, fragmenting our minds. The consequences are real: rising anxiety, disconnection, and a loss of self-knowledge. But our future isn't set. We're not passive victims. This crisis is also an invitation to become more conscious of our consciousness. By understanding what fragments our minds, we can fight back. We can reclaim stillness, set boundaries, and re-engage with deep, nourishing activities. The choice is ours: shallow distraction or cultivated inner depth. The tools for both are in our hands. One path leads to a fragmented, outsourced consciousness. The other leads to a life of focus, reflection, and genuine connection. The real question: what will we choose for the future of our consciousness?